Have you ever wondered what lessons many people learn too late in life? Get ready, because in this episode I'm going to reveal those lessons from the perspective of Stoicism, offering you powerful tools to face challenges and grow as an individual. Now, if you are new here, please like the episode and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the podcast, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's start discovering how its timeless lessons can offer clarity and direction in modern chaos. Work hard in silence and let your success make all the noise. You are the only person who has to be with you 100% of the time, so start liking yourself and who you are. Never let a bad day make you feel like you have a bad life. Every second you spend comparing your life to someone else's is a second you lose of your own. If you don't like something about your life, you have to change it. It won't change for you. When you write the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. Every person in your life is a teacher. Some bring lessons about love and support, others teach you what to avoid. Overthinking ruins you, ruins the situation, distorts things, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it really is. Don't worry about what people say behind your back. They are people who always find faults in your life instead of fixing the faults in their own. Stop looking for the good in people and start looking for good people. You have to do what is right for you. No one else is walking in your shoes. The more grateful you are, the more things you will attract to be grateful for. You can lie down so people can walk over you, and they will still complain that you're in their way. When you think about life, remember this: no amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. Prioritizing yourself is not selfish. You see the true colors of a person when you are no longer beneficial to their life. Don't get married because you think it's something you should do. You don't have as much time as you think. Tell the people you love that you love them, and say it often. If you've never questioned whether you made the right decision, you haven't taken enough significant risks. Not everyone is with you as they say they are. Never trust what someone says. Watch what they do. You can't love someone enough to make them love you back. Be careful with your words. Once they are said, they can only be forgiven, not forgotten. Don't let someone who wronged you make you think there's something wrong with you. Be smart enough to realize that life doesn't wait for you to be okay. Go where you are appreciated, not just tolerated. Fix your body before anything else. Having a weak body is a reflection of your broken mind, your lack of willpower, discipline, and your poor life decisions. Some disconnections will bless your life. True success doesn't depend on seeking validation from others. It comes from seizing opportunities, proving what you are capable of, and achieving your goals despite the challenges. When you find someone smarter than you, work with them. Don't be intimidated by them. Don't belittle yourself because they didn't value you. Know your worth, even if they don't. If you are willing to sacrifice what you want most for what you want now, your future will always be full of disappointments. Being single with peace of mind is much better than being in a relationship with someone who makes your life miserable. Sometimes you just have to say no and ignore the guilt that follows. Often the right thing and the hardest thing are the same. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. Sometimes in life, your situation will repeat until you learn the lesson. It doesn't matter if you're right. Sometimes the people you surround yourself with will shape your life in more ways than you think. Sometimes there is no right decision to make. In those cases, first make a decision and then work to make it right. The biggest and worst mistake you can make in life is to continually fear that you will make one. Learn to be content and happy with yourself. If you need company to be happy, then it will weaken you. You are not responsible for what other people expect of you. Not all thoughts need to be expressed. There are things in life we don't want to happen but have to accept. Things we don't want to know but have to learn. And people we can't live without but have to let go. No matter who tries to teach you life lessons, you won't understand them until you live them yourself. You can start your life anew anytime you want. You can start being the person you truly want to be today, right now. The people who ask the most from you are the ones who do the least for you. Never sacrifice these three things: your family, your heart, or your dignity. Always look where you're going, not where you've been. Sometimes it's not people who change, but the mask that falls off. Show respect even to people who don't deserve it, not as a reflection of their character, but as a reflection of yours. When you can't find a solution to a problem, it probably isn't a problem to solve, but a truth to accept. Nothing disappears until it teaches us what we need to know. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Sometimes it's better to simply walk away from certain people, no matter how hard it is. Some people simply aren't worth the effort to understand. To know someone's character, don't just observe their actions, but also their reactions. It's harder to fake a reaction. The way people treat you is a reflection of their character, not yours. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Don't base your self-worth on the opinions of others. Don't do anything you'll later have to lie about. Making others look bad doesn't make you look better. Light travels faster than sound. That's why some people seem bright until you hear them speak. Sometimes you just need to relax and have faith that things will work out. Let go a little and just let life happen. Life is inherently risky. There's only one big risk you should avoid at all costs, and that is the risk of doing nothing. Overthinking ruins you, ruins the situation, distorts things, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it really is. Don't worry about what people say behind your back. They are people who always find faults in your life instead of fixing the faults in their own. You can fall in love more than once. You don't need to worry much when someone you love leaves you. Most of the time, it's for the best. You'll have to make very practical decisions about what you want from life and what you are willing to do to get it. If you don't make those decisions, life will make them for you. Change happens when we go against everything we are used to doing. Failure shows us the way by showing us what is not the way. It's normal to feel bad after making the right decision. No matter how kind and friendly you are, some people will despise you. Don't waste your time on them. Hard times are actually a blessing because they wake you up to the good things you never paid attention to. Never try to gain someone's sympathy. The people who care about you will be there for you when you need them. You can't make someone love you by giving them what they no longer appreciate. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and learn to grow on your own. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but poverty can bring significant challenges. Hiding from your problems won't make them disappear. Facing them is the only way to grow. Regrets can persist all your life if you don't learn to forgive yourself and others. The time you spend comparing yourself to others is time wasted on useless thoughts. Often people will take advantage of your kindness if you let them. Problems are rarely as bad as we think, or rather they are precisely as bad as we think. Sometimes painful things can teach us lessons we didn't think we needed to know. Be happy on your own. Don't look for someone else to validate your existence. Act as if you've already been there before. You should welcome change as a rule, but not as your ruler. Just because things could have been different doesn't mean they would have been better. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. It's not the mistakes that define one's character, but how one responds to those mistakes. People will disappoint you, so never completely trust anyone. Hard work doesn't always guarantee success, but laziness almost certainly guarantees failure. You will never be truly happy if you constantly seek validation from others. The pursuit of perfection is futile. Aim for progress instead. Your worth is non-negotiable. Never settle for anything or anyone that diminishes it. Be careful with what you tolerate. You are teaching people how to treat you. You will never be 100% sure about a decision, but always make a decision because it's better to go back and fix it than not make it at all. No matter who tries to teach you life lessons, you won't understand them until you live them yourself. You can start your life anew anytime you want. You can start being the person you truly want to be today, right now. The people who ask the most from you are the ones who do the least for you. Never sacrifice these three things: your family, your heart, or your dignity. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. Protect your time and priorities. Perhaps you're not healing because you're trying to be who you were before. That person no longer exists because there is a new you trying to be born. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. You don't learn anything from life if you think you're always right. No one owes you anything. You have to work for what you want in life. There are things we don't want to happen but have to accept, things we don't want to know but have to learn, and people we can't live without but have to let go. What you want requires consistency and discipline. Your entire life can change in an instant, so instead of taking what you have for granted passively, appreciate it and do all the good you can with it. The worst enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. The actions of men are the best interpreters of their thoughts. Never decide what you can or cannot do based on your lowest points in life. Only leave for tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. The more difficult your life becomes, the faster you will reach your goals. Excuses won't fix your problems. Take responsibility for your actions. Accept that you will make mistakes and learn from them instead of lamenting them. Be friends with those who expand your thinking, not just your circle. A man who wants something will find a way. A man who doesn't will find an excuse. You have now reached the halfway mark of the episode. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Some people won't like you no matter how much you try to win their favor. Sometimes you have to take risks, and although it can be scary and outside your comfort zone, you will never know what could have been unless you try. They give you advice based on their perspective. Avoid making decisions when you're angry, and avoid making promises when you're happy. You will never understand the harm you did to someone until they do the same to you. Be careful who you allow in your life. People will come and completely drain you, then leave and blame it all on you. Maturity is when you have the power to destroy someone who wronged you, but you simply breathe, walk away, and let life take care of them. You are the only person you can control. Be humble enough to know that you can lose everything, but confident enough to know that you can recover it all. Remember that every time you try, you are progressing. Spend so much time improving yourself that you have no time to criticize others. Smart people stop overthinking once they understand that the best decisions require more intuition than pure intellect. Everything begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. Work on mastering your mind. Love is not enough to have a happy and lasting relationship. Being open and not afraid to communicate is vitally important, even if it's a difficult conversation. Everything in life teaches you a lesson. You just have to be willing to learn. The measure of a man is how he bears misfortune. If you put them on a pedestal, they will have no choice but to look down on you. Every pain makes you stronger, every betrayal smarter, every disappointment more skillful, and every experience wiser. When you get married, all the good and all the bad about your relationship intensifies. You teach people how to treat you. Things rarely change for the better in your life unless you change them. Difficult conversations are often blessings in disguise. Let go and let life strengthen you no matter how much it hurts. Keep your head up and move forward. Sometimes it's a blessing not to get what you want. The more you like yourself, the less you need others. Just because you're good at keeping other people's secrets doesn't mean they will do the same for you. Often it takes a change of self more than a change of scenery. It's possible not to make mistakes and still lose. That's not weakness, that's life. Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to let another person or event control your emotions. Whoever angers you controls you. There can be no progress or achievement without sacrifice, and a man's worldly success will be in proportion to how much he sacrifices. We move forward in life when we let go of fear. The greatest danger for most of us is not setting our goals too high and falling short, but setting them too low and reaching them. Be a reflection of what you like to receive. What you give will always come back. Never speak from a place of hate, jealousy, anger, or insecurity. Evaluate your words before letting them leave your lips. You only have one body. Take care of it. If someone emphasizes that they are telling the truth, you can be sure they are lying. Excuses are always there and easy to make. Finding a solution is what takes courage. Don't let anyone treat you badly just because you love them. Every time you lie, you create problems that you will have to face in the future. Do the right thing now. Someone who believes in themselves doesn't need to convince others. Learn to miss someone without wanting them back. If life weren't difficult, you would never grow. Sometimes you just have to accept that some people can only be in your heart, not in your life. Don't let people know too much about you. Most don't care, and some secretly want you to fail. When you react, you lose power. Tomorrow never comes because it is always today. Perfectionism is procrastination. It's a disease. Action is the cure. Never expect to receive what you give. Not everyone has a heart like yours. Your mental state determines your experience of life. Prioritize your mental health as you would your physical health. Exercise your mind with new challenges and positive self-talk. Life is difficult because we don't appreciate the things that come easily. Don't let loneliness lead you to make temporary decisions with long-term consequences. Once you are on the right path in life, you will stop getting offended and angry all the time, because you will have much better things to do with your time. Your growth depends on your willingness to keep learning, even when it is boring. Keep your personal life private, and don't tell everything to everyone, even when you have a lot to say. It's top-notch to take care of yourself. Find a relationship where naturally being you makes the other person happy. The easiest way to destroy your self-confidence is to constantly break the promises you make to yourself. Stop cheating your future with your past. You will grow as much as the amount of truth you are willing to accept about yourself without running away. All failures are temporary when you keep trying. When you blame someone else for your problems, you give them power over you, allowing them to define and dictate your well-being. Blind trust often leads to betrayal. The only person who needs to understand is you. Your life gets better once you stop assuming you will always have more time later. Be proactive. Each day should be a step forward. The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. The first to forget is the happiest. No single thing will solve all your problems. No goal, no achievement, no relationship. No one will ever fix you. Show respect even to those who don't deserve it, not as a reflection of their character, but as a reflection of yours. Whatever you do, winning isn't everything, but you always win if you are satisfied with having given your best effort. Usually people only want to hear the good, not the bad, so if you have problems, it will be hard to find people to trust. Numbing the pain for a while will make it worse when you finally feel it. When a decisive moment arrives, you can do one of two things: define the moment, or let the moment define you. Stay away from narcissists. They don't play by any rules and will drain your energy. Select your thoughts just like you select your clothes every day. This is a power you can cultivate. If you want to control things in your life so desperately, work on your mind. That's the only thing you should try to control. No matter how much good you do for people, they will only remember your mistakes. In every situation, life is asking us a question, and our actions are the answer. Establish your own standards. Find your why. Your why is the foundation of your goals and gives meaning to your actions. Taking responsibility for all your problems relieves more suffering than it creates. One of the most dangerous things you can do is compare your life to someone else's. It's not a competition. It's your journey. Don't give up after the first failure. Failure is not the end. It's just a detour on the road to success. Just because you can't see the point behind a challenging moment doesn't mean there isn't one. When you believe, your mind finds a way to make it happen. Embrace the long game. Patience is the ultimate competitive advantage in the game of life. Your future needs you, not your past. Being true to yourself can lead to loneliness, but it's worth it. People will try to bring you down out of envy. Don't be surprised, it's normal. It's scary when things change, but it's even scarier when they don't. The truth is that everyone will hurt you. You just have to find those worth suffering for. On a day when you don't encounter problems, you can be sure you're traveling the wrong path. The magic you seek is in the work you are avoiding. You must discipline yourself carefully. You must keep the promises you make to yourself and reward yourself so you can trust and motivate yourself. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. When you build in silence, no one knows where to attack. Pain only leaves you when it has taught you what you need to know. Some lessons must be learned twice. When you feel like giving up, remember why you held on so long in the first place. Never put relationships before your goals. You can lose both. Your obsession with finding happiness is what prevents its achievement. Treat yourself as someone you are responsible for helping. The greatest sin is thinking of yourself as weak. Don't let anyone treat you badly just because you love them. Knowing when to mind your own business and when to speak up is a life lesson that takes time. But once you know when to react or retract, life flows much more smoothly. Sometimes you have to take risks, and although it can be scary and outside your comfort zone, you will never know what could have been unless you try. The great secret of life is that there is no great secret. If you don't make yourself indispensable, you'll soon be unemployed. Never become completely dependent on anyone. A wise man can learn more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Being cool, calm, and collected in a stressful situation is extremely valuable. This doesn't mean you should repress your emotions. Just don't let them dominate you. The more you hold on to the past, the less likely your future will be brighter. The only failure is not trying. The only rejection is not asking. The only mistake is not risking anything. Luck comes to those who work hard. Good things don't come to those who wait. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness, because once that person leaves your life, you're left with nothing. We often stray from our dreams, fearing we might fail, or worse, fearing we might succeed. Wandering aimlessly won't get you ahead. It will disappoint, frustrate, make you anxious and unhappy, and make it difficult for others to get along with you. Dreams without goals are just dreams. You don't realize the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. The emotion that is suffering ceases to be suffering as soon as we form a clear and precise picture of it. People's actions tell the truth about them, not their words. Real growth is when you start reviewing and correcting yourself instead of blaming others. You regain your power by taking responsibility for your life. If you can't understand why someone is doing something, observe the consequences of their actions and then infer their motivations from those consequences. The moment you feel like you're hanging by a thread, let go. You shouldn't be holding on to something that makes you feel that way in the first place. The truth is that bad things don't affect us as deeply as we expect. That's also true for good things. We adapt very quickly to both. Never underestimate contempt. When someone looks at you with contempt and talks to you as if you are beneath them, they are likely to harm you, whether relationally, socially, or physically. Remove that person from your life. You can't expect everyone to be good to you, and at the same time, you can't be good to everyone. It's during the worst moments of your life that you will see the true colors of the people who say they care about you. If you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you. Never expect and never trust anyone too much. Don't stay with bad friends just because you've known them for a long time. Our wounds are often the openings to the best and most beautiful parts of us. Our job is simply to respond well. Say no to your desire to be perfect, otherwise you won't be able to improve anymore. The regret of putting first those who don't put you first makes your life painful. You must determine where you are going in life, because you can't get there unless you move in that direction. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. You can't be happy with someone else if you're not happy with yourself. Don't fear life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. Harboring grudges will never harm the people you hate, only yourself. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. Start today. Start now. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new episode, and if you look through the episodes we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.